Mr. Ed.
Matt, I can't believe it. You journeyed all the way down here. How many miles did you go today?
That's a good question. It's probably 1,000.
Man, and you did all that hitchhiking?
You wouldn't believe it. It's been a trip. You want to play 20 questions?
I've never done that, but I'll give it a shot.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, first off, Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed.
Where did the Mr. Ed name come from?
Yeah, Matt, that is my single most asked question. And the answer to the question is that name, Mr. Ed, was given to me the day that I began working at the post office back in 1982. And you walked in the post office and they always assign names, and my last name, Horchoff, so you can see there's a horse in there, and I like talking and I like laughing, and then with them snags like that, Mr. Ed, it was just a natural fit. And then, so for 27 years, I was called Mr. Ed. That's all it was, Mr. Ed at work. I still was Jeff at home, but Mr. Ed at work. And when I started my YouTube channel, I just love the name so much, I'm gonna call myself Mr. Ed.
Awesome. How long have you been keeping bees?
I started keeping bees in 1978 when I migrated from the North Shore, New Orleans, from the South Shore, New Orleans, to the North Shore here in Mandeville, which is from here, it's only about 10 miles from here. And I did that it was April 1978.
When did you start posting videos on YouTube?
I think it was in 2011. I'm not really that sure, but I think it's 2011. It's a long time. So what, now we're in 2025? So that's at least 14 years, huh? Something like that.
Something like that. That's cool. Where's the craziest place you found a swarm?
The craziest place? Well, that wasn't a swarm. I pulled swarms out of boats. I pulled swarms out of gas tanks. I'm trying to think the weirdest one though. I couldn't tell you, but they're not all up in trees like the ones we just did.
Love it. You want to show us around a little bit?
Well, so it's kind of blank in here right now, but this is where I do most of my work, cleaning up equipment, boxes. I don't really clean frames, I just get them from Premier. But all my boxes, I store our honey supers in here during the summer, all the way through the winter, and then in the springtime they're used for our brood boxes. So this is where we store our boxes, and then on this end right here, I still got some boxes and inner covers, telescoping covers, and miscellaneous stuff. But this is just basically an open air storage area, and so it's covered with hog's wire. Used to be a peacock pen. There used to be about 30 peacocks in this area, and they had a run over here. That was why that door was right there, because they'd be able to go through that and go into the run, and it was a big area in there where they could run. But the peacocks are gone, and Mr. Ed is taking over.
Where do you keep your hives?
Well, at one time we kept all our hives here on the Abbey. The Abbey's got 1,200 acres, so it's a lot of places to put hives. But in March of 2016, we experienced a really bad flood, and in the area that we're standing right here, we had about 2 feet of water right here. Every building here in the Abbey, there's like at least 60 buildings here, and every one of them had water. And so because of that, all of our hives got washed away, and the experience taught me is that best not to keep all our eggs in one basket. So now we spread them. We have about a 30-mile radius from the Abbey that we travel. The other day I did it, and it was about 115 miles for me to do the whole loop.
So talk to us about the Abbey. What is it for people who don't know?
The Abbey is a monastery. Monastery is where this particular monastery is for men. So it's a religious order, the Benedictines. They've been here at this property since 1895 or somewhere around in that area. And it's just a group of religious men that go out into the wilderness because at 1800s, well, early 1900s, this was all wilderness and there was nothing out here. And typically, that's what monasteries do. They go out into the undeveloped areas and they hack out a living for themselves. They are like the original homesteaders. And what happens, because they're self-sustaining, so they were agriculture, they had animals, they had everything. It was self-sustaining, and bees were part of them, so they had bees. And so this group of monks, these Benedictines, they're just Catholic monks is what they are.
What's your favorite thing about working with them?
My favorite thing about being here at the Abbey is my association with the monks in their prayer life. So I get to go pray with the monks twice a day, and then so that prayer life actually sustains the life that my work that I do here in the bee yard as well as in the wood shop. So that is my most favorite thing about it.
Cool. Okay, so you are known for being a genuine light in the world.
A what?
A light. You're just a light. You're a joyful light in this world. Where do you say that light comes from?
Oh, it's my faith. My faith. It's everything is in my faith. And if anybody's seen any of my videos, it's like I can't believe that I'm able to find the Queen as often as I do, and I know that's all just grace that's given me to do it. And so because of that, I'm always saying thank you, Jesus, for that. So it's my faith that is the source of my life.
Awesome. Okay, rapid fire.
Wait, you want to wait till that thing dies, or is that the mics are gonna?
You know, I think the mic's okay.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
It's picking up. We're all right.
Good.
Rapid fire time. Morning person or night owl?
Oh, morning. I get up every morning, somewhere between 2:30 and 3, and I go to bed every night around 8 o'clock.
Awesome. Comedy or action movie?
Science fiction. So I don't spend a lot of time watching TV. I can't even hardly watch a lot of YouTube because I go to bed so early and I get up so early and I work during the day. So I don't watch a lot of media.
Winter or summer?
Spring and fall. I don't like cold, and I don't like the hot. It's really not bad right now. It really isn't. But come July, August, and September, I don't even want to go outside. I'm gonna stay in the air conditioning.
Editing videos or responding to YouTube comments?
Oh, I love doing both of them. I spend a lot of time doing. That's where I spend a lot of time. Editing videos, I love doing that, and I've been doing that for a long time. I'm not any great editor, but I know my way around the Final Cut Pro program pretty well. I only utilize about 1% of it, but that 1% I'm pretty good at. And I always feel that if anybody has watched my video, that's great. And then if they watch the video and leave a comment, that's really special. And so they've done that. The least I can do is respond to it, to reply to that comment. And I spend many hours during the week doing just that.
Favorite meal?
Food. I like everything. I like Mexican. I like Italian. I like Cajun. I love fried food. I try not to eat it as much as I used to. I love sausage. I like meat. I love vegetables. So it's just food. I'm from Louisiana, so born and raised in New Orleans. So you know, I'm very, very much a food fan, as witnessed by my stomach.
What's your favorite thing to do when not in the bee yard?
That's a good one. My favorite thing to do is to come up to the Abbey, because when I'm up here, there are no limits to what I can do. There's so many possibilities of things to do outside of bees, because though I spend the majority of my time with the bees, I also spend a lot of time in the wood shop working in there with the caskets. I also do a lot of other volunteer work in the soap, with bread. It's just, my life is at the Abbey, and this is where I really love being.
If you could only watch one channel on YouTube, who would it be?
628 Dirt Rooster. And then Fred Dunn.
What's been the most rewarding part of your beekeeping journey?
The people that I have met. Man, oh man, oh man. Beekeepers are the greatest people there are. I'm telling you, it's so wonderful to be a beekeeper and to meet so many people. Even if people didn't know who I was, and most don't, it's just the idea to be able to associate with people who have the same, the desire to keep bees. They love bees, and I love bees, and I like hanging around them.
So your channel has over 150,000 subscribers.
That many.
What comes to mind when you hear that?
That's just a number. It really is. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's some people think it's a bragging thing. It doesn't mean anything, because what's important about the channel is for people, it gives people an opportunity to look into the life of a bee wrangler and to see what they do. I don't really consider myself a beekeeper, because I do beekeeping things and I know about it, but really what I know about is doing removals. I know that pretty well, and I love sharing that, because there's a lot of knowledge to be shared about bee behavior, bee biology, in that, and I like sharing those experiences, my experiences of doing the removals, and pointing out things as I'm doing it, just to get other people to increase their awareness of the bees and how bees are.
What's one thing you've learned from bees that applies to life?
Well, actually, I'm getting ready to write a book about that. So it's not one thing. It's just so many things, because bees can show us as humans so many things, and this is one of the things that sustains my desire to keep on being a beekeeper after 40-something years, is that the newness of it. That I see something new in bees every time I work them, and I see one of the things that I see about bees is how they live in a box. So you have these thousands, tens of thousands of insects in one box, and every one of those bees is working for that box, not for the bee. And as a person, we so much live our lives focused on ourselves, whereas bees, they live a selfless life. They give their life for the protection of the hive. They give their life for the hive's benefit. And it's a wonderful lesson that there's so many lessons like this that bees can show us if we're open to it. Another thing that I always think about is how much bees respect life. That you can take a frame of brood and you can get a brand new swarm, stick that frame of brood in that box, and those bees are going to stick because of that frame of brood, because they understand life. They understand the value of life and how important that brood is. And that's a lesson that we as humans can really pick up on to appreciate not just our lives, but like the lives of the unborn, our children, our friends, our neighbors. It's just a way of being able to allow us to imitate the way the bees live their life every single day.
Cool. All right, final question.
Uh-oh.
What's your best advice to beekeepers today?
Best advice is beekeeping needs to be fun. It has to be fun for you, because if it's not fun, you're not going to continue to do it. So I strongly urge and suggest that each person find what it was, or refine what it was that sparked that initial thought of, I want to be a beekeeper. Whatever that was, go back to that, think about that, develop that, and you're gonna be a beekeeper for a very long time. It's fun, and you have to keep the fun alive.
Awesome. Hey, this was fun.
Oh, Matt, well, it's a surprise you drop it in on us like that, so thank you so much.
Thanks for watching another video from Premier Bee Products. To subscribe, click this button right here and join thousands of other beekeepers. If you want to watch another video, click that button right there. And to shop any of our products, check out the description below. See you soon.